Welcome to our channel, Claim What's Yours. I'm your host, Vaughan Reinecker. And per one of our earlier podcasts, there are a number of things that your insurer, and in fact all insurers, whether in the same order or not, will look at when you have a substantial commercial insurance claim. There's a couple of things that they will look at as a minimum that their in-house appointed assessor or their external loss adjuster will have a look at or call for when you have a substantial claim. So let's take a manufacturing risk. You've got 100 million rands worth of assets at risk, you've got some business interruption, and you have a catastrophe. So the insurance companies, a couple of things they'll look for. So let's go through them. The first one will be, do you comply with all of the local licensing laws, all of the local provisions? So those local provisions would include, do you have council approved plans for the building? So you own the building. Do you have council approved plans? Does that building have an occupancy certificate to confirm that it is being occupied, that it was signed off by the council to be occupied? The next thing we've got to look for is the electrical compliance certificate. So do you have current electrical compliance certificates for all electrical installations within the property, each and every plug and light and the distribution boards? So that's the second thing. The third thing is, what is the business occupied as? So is it being occupied based on the information that you materially supply to the insurers up front? Is it being used as a match factory, or do you have it as a manufacturing risk? What did you tell the insurer? The next thing is, what about firefighting equipment? So have you had your firefighting equipment serviced on a regular basis? Once a year minimum. Do you have the invoice to confirm that the firefighting equipment has been serviced? We need to give all of this documentation to the loss adjuster or to the insurer to make their job easier, to consider your claim and to make it easier for them to pay your claim. Next thing we need to look at is, what did we go through? We went through council approved plans, we went through electrical compliance certificates, we went through firefighting equipment. Now, what about the insurance company's individual risk reduction requirements? So that your insurer said to you, okay, you as this manufacturing risk to us pose a special risk. So we want you to do the following risk reduction requirements to make sure that you comply with certain minimum standards within your business, and that may involve storing goods on pallets above the floor. So we don't want flood damages. It's at least 150 off the floor. Store everything on a pallet, so if there's a flood or there's water, the materials are not going to be damaged. There is adequate ventilation. There is adequate extractor fans. There is enough space between the machines, so everything's not sitting on top of each other. The access doors to the firefighting equipment or emergency access exits is not restricted. Another thing they may ask for is they want fire suppression systems depending on the type of risk you have. And if they put that into a wording and say to you, right, here is a whole lot of conditions, and even worse still, warranties that apply to your policy. We've given you a formal letter, a formal risk reduction letter. You need to make sure you comply with all of those risk reduction requirements. If you do not, we're not going to pay your claim. So it could be fire suppression systems, or you have to have a sprinkler system installed, or you have to have heat guns, heat monitoring of your distribution board. So if you've got heavy industrial machinery that draws a lot of current, perhaps your DB boards get particularly hot and there is a loose connection and that may cause a fire. Those need to be checked, and they'll say to you, once every 6 months you need to give us a report. But then the insurance company also need to be quite specific about what they're asking you to do. So they can't just say, we want you to have your DB boards checked for heat. Well, you say DB boards checked for heat by who? So checked for heat, can I go and put my hand on it and see if it's hot? No, they need to be specific. We need it to be done by an expert who deals with this sort of thing. They have specialist equipment to check that the temperature of the DB board does not go above what? Please tell us. So if I put my hand on it, yeah, it feels fine. Okay, fine, you're happy, yeah, I'm happy, I've complied. No, the insurance company need to be specific. What do you want me to do? And they need to specify that in their risk reduction requirements. If you're unsure, as the FSP, as the broker, or as the client, go back to the insurance, but I don't know what you mean there. Please elaborate what you want me to do. So at the time, it may seem an absolute pain, but rather do it now than having to explain it to a judge in a court of law that you didn't understand. Get the answer now. Up front, do what the insurance company do, and if you don't have the time to do it, ask them for a suitable extension to do it. So the risk reduction requirements you need to make sure that you comply with. Security, do you have security? Is it material to the risk? What is it? What security do they want? Do they want your fire alarm linked to a burglar alarm? And if they want the fire alarm linked to a burglar alarm, is that so that somebody can attend to it, or you want it linked to the fire department? Please, insurer, be specific about what you want me to do. Because when it comes time, there's a claim, they say, but we told you to link it to the fire department. So it's not possible. Which fire department do you want it to link it to? How am I going to do it? I'm going to link it to the security company, and we're going to ask the security company to phone the alarm people, or we're going to link it to the guard at the gate, and he's got a fire extinguisher, or he's going to phone the fire department and go down there. Please tell me what you want. The uncertainty of not knowing what your insurance company wants and whether you have complied 100% with all of the items that I've mentioned above is concerning, and is concerning to us as an FSP, and is concerning to our clients. How do they know? How do we remove the uncertainty to make sure that our client gets what they claim for? If you'd like our help, we're happy to draw up a compliance risk management report and to go through all of those aspects for you on your individual risk to make sure that you get what you claim for. If you'd like to know more, like, subscribe, and send us an email.